What drives people to buy your product will determine your success or failure in selling your goods. Today, we're going to examine some factors that will make or break your success in getting that sale. So keep watching. Hi folks, welcome to Revision. When you're trying to sell your goods, there are some factors to keep in mind that will determine your success. The first factor is having your product available and at the lowest price. As they say in retail, we don't sell empty shelves. The same applies here. If you don't make an effort to put your goods up in either text chat or in a guild trader, you're just not going to sell it. That's just common sense right there. The second, uh, the second factor involved is going to be having your product at the lowest price. Anytime you have a product up, when buyers are trying to buy the product, they're going to want it at the lowest price, and the lowest price is going to win. Unless, of course, they make a mistake or they like a particular salesperson, but other than that, the lowest price is going to win. Now, the next factor involved is having the proper quantity for your buyer's needs. And I'll just give you an example. You have a choice. We'll use temper alloys as an example. You can do a single listing on that. You could put it in a bulk of 8, or you can even go to the max of the bulk as a bulk of 200. But you have to keep this in mind. Not everybody in the game is rich, and some people only need a small quantity of items to meet their needs. So you have to cater to the needs of the buyers. And most of the buyers out there, they only need a small little bit of quantity of items in order to meet their needs. They're not really looking for massive quantities of items. So keep in mind when you're pricing something to meet the buyer's needs in that respect. The next factor involved is going to be demand caused by ESO events. Anytime you get an event in the game, certain items from that event will go dramatically up, and then it'll come dramatically down as people massively farm that event, so the price is not going to be so good towards the end of the event. But to keep this in mind, anytime you have an event in the game, it is an impulse buy, meaning the items in the event are going to be selling the best during the event and a significant amount of time later after the event. But right after the event, not exactly a good selling opportunity. It's more of a good buying opportunity. Also, for the next factor, game changes could change the demand on your goods. I'll give an example. Let's say I'll use Spriggans as an example. I think recently they did a big nerf on Spriggans and they messed it up quite a bit. Spriggans was pretty good in terms of selling for armor, but once the game changed and one of the latest updates nerfed it, the demand for Spriggan went down dramatically. So you always had to keep an eye out for changes in the game that could affect your product. And if it's going to impact it negatively and you know about that, you definitely want to dump your inventory before that time period happens. Next factor involved is you got to keep in mind where inside of the game you are selling. Certain areas of the game are a lot better to sell in than other regions. I'll give you an example. You're selling items in either if you're selling items in Mournhold, you will do a lot better having a Mournhold trader and selling your items in Mournhold as opposed to a completely dead zone like, I'll say Hughesbane as an example. You don't get too much traffic in Hughesbane. However, if an event like the Thieves Guild event that might come up in the future were to drive traffic to that region, then you would see an uptick in demand and the selling of goods within that region, and then it would be a good idea to sell in that region. So you always got to keep in mind where you are at in the game when you're trying to sell your items. And finally, the last factor on my list is, are you selling a unique product? And when I say unique, I'm not talking about, something totally different out there. I'm talking about, I'll use an example here. Kudas, they sell really good, but glyphs sell a lot faster and at a better price. So if you have the ability to make a end of game glyph, which means you have to have a level 50 enchantment in order to do it, you definitely want to convert your raw material of a Kuda into a product like a glyph. So that product will sell a lot better than the raw material. Now, granted, there are exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, a finished product sells better than raw material. Again, always exceptions to the rule, but as a general rule of thumb, that usually is the case. All right, folks. So sorry, that concludes my video. If you like this video, please hit the like button and consider becoming a subscriber. I put out videos on Elder Scrolls Online each and every week, and I'll see you next time.